Hello everyone, Crash here. Welcome to RTA Motorsports, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Today we're going to be talking about my sim racing rig. It's a budget rig and I have upgraded it a lot since my last video. So we're going to get into that and I'm going to show you around between the rig and the computer and how it all works.
Welcome to RTA Motorsports.
Hello everyone and welcome, Crash here. So this is going to be an update to my rig. This is my sim racing rig and it's a budget rig. A lot of it I have done myself, a lot of it I have upgraded since my last video. Now if you're looking for my last video, chances are you will not find it because the edit button on the mobile app is right next to the delete button, and unfortunately YouTube doesn't give a confirmation of delete, it just deletes it. So I lost the video and I didn't have a backup of the video because the video was just so long and I just wanted it off the hard drive. Kind of a noob mistake, but yeah, so the video is gone. But you know, I'll kind of go through a little bit of what I changed and what I used to have. There's still some older videos of my rig on YouTube showing my DIY shifter that I made from a Sidewinder Microsoft Flight Stick. That was on my initial rig. Still some things carried over. Well, actually most of the things carried over, most of the structure of it. So as you can see, powering my rig, I'm going to go over it a little bit more closely, is my computer here utilizing my Intermax Ostrog case. So at the center of every sim racing rig you have a computer, and this is mine here. It's an Intermax Ostrog mid-tower case that I got for less than 20 bucks on a really awesome Black Friday deal. And I built the computer myself, got all of the internals and shopped around myself. You can see the front middle drive bay there. I customized it, I drilled it out. It's not perfectly straight, but I used mesh behind there, glued that in place for a fan that sits behind there. We have RGB LEDs down on the bottom there, on the underside of the window, shining up. And on top there we have dual 140 millimeter exhaust fans exhausting outward and upward. On the back is a 120 millimeter fan exhausting outward. Right on the bottom is a blue LED, another 120 millimeter fan sucking in air into the case itself. So now getting into the internals, the motherboard is an Asus M5A99FX Pro 2.0, R2.0, I'm sorry about that. I have two 8GB Patriot Viper RAM sticks. That's a Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo, cooling down the AMD FX 8350 CPU. The GPU, you could see my video on that unboxing, is a Sapphire R9 290X Tri-X 8GB, absolute monster of a card. And down there is the InWin greenme 750 power supply, powering everything there. An absolute awesome budget build. If you're looking to do this on a budget, definitely consider AMD, especially for the CPU. GPUs, you know, things are starting to change a little bit, but you should be able to get that graphics card for a real good price now that the 300 series is out. Definitely stands its ground when it comes to sim racing titles. I could run most titles fully maxed out. GTA 5 is the only exception. So right now we're in the Dallara DW12 and we're at the Okayama circuit. So this car only uses the sequential shifters. So I have it mapped to go to the paddles automatically. You know, it's kind of fitting for this car being that it is, you know, the type of car it is. You know, so the shifter won't do anything. The clutch still works, but the paddles will automatically kick in. Alright everyone, welcome. So we're going to do the next part of this video with Race Room Racing Experience, because they recently had quite a large update that changed a lot of the physics models, a lot of how the cars feel, especially from a standing start. The drivetrain feels very organic, very realistic. Doesn't just feel like a direct drive right to the wheels where the tires just spin. If, you know, for whatever reason whatsoever, it feels like you're actually having a drivetrain, something connecting the engine to the wheels rather than just a direct drive. Cars used to just spin out almost for no reason whatsoever. So we're going to just do the race. We're going to take practice off, qualifying off, grid position random, flag system. I'm going to leave that off. We're going to leave everything else realistic, adaptive AI, physics models get real, number of opponents. We're going to do 20. So that way it could set me all the way in the back. Race length 8 minutes and time of day noon. So we're in the Saline S7R. We're gonna give this a shot. You know, I love Dash Meter Pro, especially, you know, with these racing games with iRacing and whatnot, because every one you can configure differently. You could put whatever parameters you want for each one, because it's a separate app on your device. So you can do whatever the heck you want with it. Different colors for different games, different layouts. This one over here, I have RPM and Speedo, an LED shift indicator, my gear shift indicator, tire temperatures, position, my lap, and the time of day it is right now. And you know, this game doesn't really, especially when you're just using the free version and you haven't purchased any cars or additional tracks yet, you don't really run into having to fuel up or anything like that. I'm sure if you set the longer sessions, I'm sure you'll have to. So we're just going to jump right in and get going. Like by the look of the draw, I got placed in first. Not a bad launch, not a great one, but you don't want to cook the tires in these cars, because then you'll lose all traction. So I like the, you know, I love how these cars feel, but you know, their update also included the rear tires that well, not only the rear tires, the tires in general, you have to work on building up temperature in the tires and wearing down the tires a little bit to gain some traction. So you'll notice in your later laps, you know, you could really start throwing this car in the corner, or any of these cars, and you'll have so much more traction. Looks like I'm pulling away from them quite a bit. What the heck? That's what I get for trying to see how much battery I have left on my camera. So if you haven't tried this game and you have a wheel, highly suggest you just download it from Steam. Just give it a shot. You know, it's nothing to lose. It's free. Just try it. These 2 tracks are awesome. And then you could test drive any of the cars in the store for free. You know. Almost lost it there. Drifted that one in. All right, I'm just going to end it now. See, let's park the car up here. All right, so this last one's going to be Dirt Rally. We're just going to do Bumholder, Germany, and I think I'm kind of messing that up how it's pronounced. It's a new track released by Codemasters on Dirt Rally, and I think this one's like Frauenberg or something like that. It's one of their long tracks, and we're going to use my favorite car, the Subaru Impreza. And we're rocking AMD colors. We'll see how this will work. I haven't played this much, and the first time I did play it, completely obliterated the vehicle, so we'll see how this turns out. And I didn't even play this level, I played a different one. That's why I have all the HUDs on, because I need to see where the turns are here. If you notice, Dash Meter Pro is not on with this game because it doesn't work unless I turn off my simvibe, and I want my simvibe working, so it's like you have to mess with the motion data to get either one to work, and I chose simvibe until Codemaster fix out their issue with motion data. I won't be using Dash Meter Pro, unfortunately. So, wow, this track is rough. I'm like sweating already. Pretty cool little cottage. Go, 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 go.
Crest jump maybe 80. Button junction. Into left 6 off the button. And crest. Caution braking left 3. Right 6. 130.
Almost nailed that rock. Almost nailed that rock.
And turn right 4 don't cut. Into turn square left don't cut. Keep in rocks on exit. 250 crest.
Go, 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 go.
And caution crest.
My goal for this race, I know I'm going to slam.
250 down.
I know I'm going to slam this car up. I am just trying not to break this windshield.
80 crest.
You really got to use your brakes a lot in this one. There's like no margin for error. They are forcing us to use our brakes in this game.
80. Turn left on long, flat, 60. Right 5 long, 100 through dead. Care turn left on, don't cut, opens, 100. Caution tight chicane, right entry, 150.
What the heck is that? That's pretty cool. Chicanes for real.
Caution tight chicane, left entry, 200. Care turn square right, don't cut, truck on exit.
Truck on exit.
60.
Oh yeah, truck on exit.
Last junction. Right 3 don't cut. 100 through dip, last junction. Left 5 times 3 don't cut, 60. Right 3 opens long, past junction. Down.
That did tighten the 3, didn't it?
80. Left 5 long, don't cut, 150.
Come on, come on.
Turn right 2 don't cut. Immediate turn left 4 don't cut. 150 past stabilize. Right 5 continues 100. Into caution. Turn
What's with all these boulders and bricks? How the heck did that happen?
80 crest. Left 4 over crest don't cut. 80. Right 6 don't cut. 80. Up dead. Right 3 up long, don't cut past junction. Left 6 past junction, don't cut. And dip, right 5, 60 past junction, 80 crest. Turn left 2, don't cut. 100. Caution braking, turn overhead right, don't cut. Turn acute left, don't cut. 150.
Go, 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 go.
Crest, last junction. Left 5, into right 5 over crest. Into caution, left 5 long, braking through gate. Turn right 3, don't cut. And right 5 times 4 through dead. Into left 4, don't cut. Opens long, 80. Caution hairpin left down. Into acute right down. Into left 6 80. Right 6 80. Care right 4 box on exit. Left 5 100 through dead. Caution braking over hairpin left. Into hairpin right over 200. Left 5 over crest, selective 100 down.
This is a workout. Oh my gosh.
Caution braking, turn overhead and right, don't cut, 80.
Hook, hook, hook.
80 right 6.
Almost lost it. Almost lost it.
Through dip 100. double caution, keep left at junction, jump maybe. Braking left 3 long past junction, don't cut, crest, keep mid, bronze on exit. 100 through dip, right 6 to finish.
6 minutes 57 seconds. Alright, so in conclusion, building this sim rig has been quite a fun experience. It's always evolving. I always want new things for it. I'm always saving up for new features of it. Now, why did I change from the Sidewinder, the Microsoft Sidewinder, to my Thrustmaster TH8A shifter? Well, one, the Sidewinder eventually started dying on me. I still have it. I loved the force feedback of it. I loved making the gates for it and kind of polishing it up. I like kind of troubleshooting things and getting things to work and polishing it up and getting it to work just right and feeling pride in that. So there was a lot of fun in it in that sense, and making the gates and then configuring the program to work for it. And you could see in the videos that I have in the past of DIY shifter and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. It felt great. I loved the gates of it. But, you know, over time, the Sidewinder itself started dying in the middle of some races. I would put it in gear and it wouldn't register, or it would just pop out of gear and keep popping out, and then I'd have to pit and then exit the race and, you know, go into the program, restart the program. Eventually narrowed it down to that it was the Sidewinder starting to fail me, unfortunately. So I went with something a little bit more bulletproof like the TH8A shifter. I already had the Thrustmaster TX wheel. You know, this here I got, it's probably almost a year ago now. I weigh, at the time I weighed 235 pounds. Now I weigh 210. I fluctuate. I'm still steadily losing, and it's held up great. You know, there's a little bit of a corner. You can see right here, this plastic rim on the inside, there was a corner broken, so the fabric kind of pulls through a little bit off the bottom lip because there's not a complete lip sealing the front. It's no big deal because it's not really affecting how the seat stays or anything. It just kind of pulls up a little bit underneath that. But all in all, the seat is really sturdy. It's just as comfortable as when I first bought it. It's still very much adjustable. I really do love this seat. I recommend it to anyone that's trying to have a home DIY rig and can't really afford the room for any of the full-size rigs or a car seat or anything like that. Granted, for the same price, I could have made a base out of wood, probably put some seat sliders, and actually bought like a cheap racing seat off of eBay, and it would have been easier to get in and out of and whatnot. But this here holds my wheel and my pedals all in one. And if you do own this and you're like, hey, how the hell did you get the T500 pedals on there? Well, I didn't use a Velcro strap, you know, that was supplied. All I did was I just used some wire ties, and there's 3 bars that run along the underside of it, and I just wire tied them to each side of the pedal deck, and on the back there's a little bar that comes up, and I just wire tied it there, and it's solid as a rock. That thing does not move at all. I could stand on that brake and it does not move. And like I said, the wheel is attached to it, and if I do have visitors coming over, everything I have in this room is collapsible. I could break it all down and they could have a room. And that was kind of the goal, you know, making sure that everything is really modular. This is not my final home. This is a rental, so, you know, everything needs to be able to be moved easily. This folds up, and I could stick it in the closet complete with the wheel and pedal deck all together as one unit. And I just find that to be awesome. I have brought it to my friend's house once and just plugged it into his computer, and we compared it with his rig, and it was really easy. It all fit. I didn't have to remove the wheel or the pedal deck from it, you know, just all folds up, and I stuck it in the trunk, and that was it. The Thrustmaster TX wheel, can't say enough about it. I'm in love with this wheel. I'm in love with the force feedback. I could set that force feedback up way higher than my arms and hands can tolerate it without it clipping. And that's the main thing too. It's just, you know, there's a lot of add-ons I could buy for it, you know, and it's just something that I foresee is going to carry with me. And, you know, I race often. I race probably about every other day, sometimes not every day, but probably every other day. And when I do race for at least an hour. On some days I'm racing for like 4 or 5 hours, you know, if I have the day off and my wife is at work, you know, I'll race while she's at work, you know, and I haven't had any issues with that thing overheating. It's been flawless. The button box by SimGarage, absolutely love the thing. It works in almost every game I put it in. I could map it to, you know, start button functions all the way to changing camera views in some basic games. And you know, I use it in iRacing mostly, and in Assetto Corsa mostly. Now the e-brake, I'm going to do a separate video on that altogether. Same thing with the pedals. I highly suggest, if you're going to make an e-brake and you want to, get yourself a cheap flight stick, put some shocks on it like I have it there, or, you know, kind of configure your own way of doing it, some RC car shocks, and you'll have an awesome hydraulic feel, and it feels awesome. There's not just a spring with progressive tension, there's an actual hydraulic feel. Same thing with the brake. Phenomenal feeling. That console that I made, it's completely sturdy, and, you know, this triple screen monitor here, monitor setup on the Sawhorse, that's been absolutely phenomenal, and it worked out to be perfect because this slides right underneath it and it feels like you're in a little cockpit. So I know this title says budget, and it really is a budget setup. If you look around and if you shop around, you could really get a lot of these things really cheap. And, you know, unfortunately, some people, they go out and they just buy the first thing that they see. Now, the Thrustmaster TX wheel, I got it actually, it said it was an open box item on Amazon. When I got it, it was supposed to come with this add-on wheel. Now, it was altogether $200 for the wheel, the normal Thrustmaster TX pedals, and the add-on wheel. And the add-on wheel hadn't come out that long ago. Now, when I got it, the company, after I contacted them, I did an unboxing. You could look at the video. The wheel wasn't included. And I kind of noticed that everything seemed to be packaged OEM. And so I contacted them, and it basically confirmed to me that the wheel and pedal set was not open box. But they sent me the add-on wheel anyway. So that was all $200. The pedal set I got used on eBay, and the guy who I got them from is the one that actually did the RC car shock mod. Absolutely fell in love with the mod, and the pedals I got for, I think it was like $150. I know it's right near the T3PA Pro and the T3PA pedals price, but that brake is absolutely phenomenal. It really feels like there's a master cylinder behind it. It is strong, a lot of resistance. I could stand on it without breaking it. Phenomenal brake mod. So highly worth it there. The T3, the TH8A shifter, I think I got that for around 100. The e-brake I made myself. The button box, you can make it yourself, but I chose to go SimGarage. They sell their stuff on eBay sometimes. You can see it on there. It's like around $80, $83. You know, I'm not really good with the prices, but it's around that price range, and they're made here in America. And I posted a whole review. You can see that in another video as well. Now, everything else pretty much, you know, this was scrap vinyl that I found at a local, I think it was Michael's, and I got that for $5, and that was enough to wrap everything you see in black vinyl. And the Sawhorse I got for $15. So, of course, the butt kicker I paid a premium for. I want to say it was around $130 for the butt kicker and the amp, but that's still not that much of a cost. So, you know, really not that bad. You know, use stuff you have like your cell phone for your Dash Meter Pro, or if you have a tablet, use that for Dash Meter Pro, just like I did. And I just made my own little cell phone holder instead of buying one, and wrapped it and considered it a project. You know, definitely use your imagination, have fun with it. If it may not come out perfect, who cares? You know, just rip it out and rebuild it. Budget rigs are definitely possible, and I look forward to seeing what you guys have, seeing your budget rigs or seeing your rigs in general, even if they're crazy expensive. Definitely post them in the comments below. I'm kind of curious what everyone else is doing as far as their sim rigs. So again, I definitely look forward to seeing your rigs, and I hope you enjoyed looking at my rig. So definitely post them in the comments below. I'll be looking for that. And again, if you're a sim racer or if you're a racer in general, race on.